Good evening, viewers. An inside source revealed that Nnamdi Kanu might be released in the next court case come September, that the federal government is about to withdraw his court case. But before we go into that, I came across this news today from the Guardian newspaper, and it reads, Nigeria flag designer Akin Kumi for burial September 6. And I started taking time to study about this man who designed the Nigeria flag. And I discovered that, oh, Nigeria forgot this man. Oh. This man was suffering on a wheelchair. Nobody even remember him before he died. Oh. Someone who designed the Nigerian national flag. I think that person is supposed to be in a good country, a hero, someone who designed your flag. You know what that means now. So this article is from the Guardian newspaper, and it reads, the family of PA Michael Akin Kumi Taiwo OFR, he's even an officer of the Federal Republic. Oh my God. The designer of Nigerian national flag has announced the burial rites for their patriarch Akin Kumi, who died on August 29, 2023. In a statement by his son, Akin Kumi, yesterday, the family expressed their gratitude to all those who supported them during their time of mourning. A 3-day burial plan for Akin Kumi will commence on Wednesday, September 4 and end on Friday, September 6, 2024 in Ibadan. The family requested that the national flag to be flown at half-mast in honor of the deceased during the burial. Let me stop there. Anyway, I don't really want much from Nigerian government. But someone who designed the Nigeria flag, if it is a good country, but this is a sign that Nigeria is not a good country, that Nigeria is not working. And I did not put water in my mouth before I said this. I said Nigeria is not working. So this man like this is everybody's supposed to know him, you know, people supposed to know everything about him and his details, how he come about the flags. Though I've taken time to study about it, but other people who are not on social media and people who don't take time to read all these things, they won't know about someone who designed the national flag, was still alive till 2023 and so on and so forth. So that is story by the day. Let's talk about the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is someone that, how I wish he's already free from the detention. Now, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested the first time, I think that was 2014, 2015. He was charged to court in 2015. And after that, 2015 to 2024 is about 10 years, getting to 10 years. Nnamdi Kanu have not been found guilty. If, for example, Nnamdi Kanu was sentenced in 2015, maybe they gave him 2 years imprisonment. By now, he's supposed to be free. Even though they gave him 5 years imprisonment, by now he's supposed to be free. So there is no judgment that will come now with imprisonment that Nnamdi Kanu have not overstayed the what is it called? The judgment. He have overstayed, even though they wanted to give, even though I know that he's not guilty. The court have not found him guilty, and when you read the Supreme Court judgment, it states categorically that this man did not jump bail. It indicted Nigerian government, indicted the Nigerian army for invading his house, Nigerian government from kidnapping him from Kenya, and so on and so forth. I took time to study the Supreme Court judgment. Now, apart from that, you see, if peradventure, let me say, the judiciary was so wicked that they jailed this man, no matter how they jail him, it will not be more than 2 to 3 years. And since 2015, this man's supposed to have even finished the jail term and so on and so forth. So there is no need going forward with this case, because we are not even seeing it as a prosecution, but a persecution. A lot of people talked about the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, that he's from one particular tribe, someone like Sowore. Sowore categorically, stated and insisted that Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. That is why he is still being tried. So I'm using this opportunity to say this, that if the federal government really want to add the problem they have more to themselves, I think it is going to overwhelm them. Because Nnamdi Kanu have said this time without number, and before his arrest, there have not been insecurity in the southeast. After his arrest, the insecurity in the southeast begin to grow one after the other. And it is at the increase since then. And this man is saying, when you let me go, that very day, within 48 hours, in fact, within 24 hours, the insecurity in the southeast will come to an end, because the Nigerian politicians are the ones who are sponsoring the insecurity in the southeast. I am quoting what Nnamdi Kanu said. So, if the federal government want to prove him wrong, that it is not the state government or federal government who are sponsoring the insecurity in the southeast as they are sponsoring insecurity in Nigeria, then they should prove Nnamdi Kanu wrong by releasing him. Let's see whether this insecurity will still be on when Nnamdi Kanu is being released. We all are here when what is it called? Ademodu Sheriff from Boko Haram in our presence here Everybody saw what happened, even when he gave one of the Boko Haram Commission of Religious Affairs, and the man resigned because he said that there is a corruption in his government and so on and so forth. So we know everything that has been going on in this country, even how so many people in government today were indicted, how the UAE, United Arab Emirates, released the names of 6 people in September 15, 2021, people who were sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, and the federal government swept it under the carpet. This Ademodu Sheriff was arrested in Cameroon through intelligence of forming Boko Haram. Nigeria government then gave a call and they released him. What are we talking about? So if the Nigeria government do as they say that they want to withdraw this case, I think everybody will let the matter be and forget about it, because this man has suffered more than the so-called reason why he was held. And I'm not a lawyer, but if you try to follow the law, you will understand that Nnamdi Kanu don't stand for any trial. According to the Supreme Court judgment, he doesn't stand for any trial, even though Supreme Court referred that they should go to High Court to try it. But as far as the Supreme Court have, accepted and acknowledged that the Nigeria government kidnapped him, and that is contrary to the law, that ends everything. Now, people say he jumped bail. The Supreme Court said this man did not jump bail. He was running to save his life. So that is the news on the ground now, that the federal government want to withdraw the case. Let's see how everything is going to go.
One of them, of course, Nnamdi Kanu,
yes,
who remains in custody and whose continued incarceration some people see as the unfairness of the Nigerian system, because other separatist agitators from other ethnic groups have been freed, whilst Mr. Kanu, who is Igbo, remains in custody. What are your thoughts on that? Because the argument is that he was charged to court and the courts freed him, but he's still locked up.
Well, what you must know is that Nnamdi Kanu is being held hostage on behalf of the famed unity of Nigeria. That's what it's all about. It's as simple as that. If you mention his name in certain circles, they don't want to hear it because they feel like he threatens the real estate called Nigeria. And his Igbo makes it worse, because Nigeria's DNA hates the Igbo for attempting, in the 60s and, towards the end of the 70s, to leave a country they said is no longer favorable to their existence. But I keep saying, and I will repeat here again, is there any Nigerian out there in their majority who has not mentally seceded from Nigeria? Not many. That's why people are living in droves. Each time you get on a plane leaving this country is full, each time it's coming back, probably full too, but it is those who are coming back to pack their things that are coming back. That's the way I describe it. But the truth is that Nnamdi Kanu has been held hostage. He was abducted from Kenya, extraordinary rendition. The fact that he's kidnapped from Kenya could not be explained shows that any judicial pronouncement or processes after that is null and void. You cannot go and kidnap somebody and bring them before a court. And the courts have made it very clear, even up to the Supreme Court, that he did not jump bail. It was the military that went to his house to kill people, and then he escaped. And now you have brought him back, you ought to respect and restore his bail. That's what I told his lawyers. Why are you applying for bail again? Because the Supreme Court made all the pronouncements except releasing him. And I think it was because they were afraid. And that's why I say he's a hostage to this country. And like you rightly said, there are other people who have made even more egregious pronouncements and fought and carried arms in this country. And you have not treated them the same way because they're not Nnamdi Kanu's, their name don't sound East. And I'm not here to fetish being able. But the reality is that they are not treated fairly. And Nnamdi Kanu is part of the reason why that is clear to everybody.
Right.
And by the way, I must also reveal here that there are some Igbo elites who are behind this. Whenever there's a crime of conspiracy against freedom fighters, there are people inside and outside who are working together.
Well, let's return to you.
Yes.
Are you going to run again for president in 2027?
So let me give you a cliche. I never stop running, even after the 2018-2019 election. But that is not to say that I will be running perpetually for office. My goal is to make this country work in my lifetime.
And do you have a master plan to achieve that goal?
I have made it public. I was the first person to bring a digital master plan to bear on Nigeria. Even, and this I can provide, even the so-called coastal highway. I was the first person to talk about it from in 2018 when I visited Badagry for a town hall meeting. But mine was supposed to start from Badagry to Calabar and eventually to go from there to Senegal, because I believe in the unity of the African continent.
So you support that coastal highway?
Well, I don't support the one they are building now. Because
so you support the one that you want to build?
Because the one they are building now is the Atlantic outlet.
Right.
Yes, and I would predict here today, the coastal highway they are building is probably going to end up at the Dangote refinery, because it's meant for transporting high-level workers from the Atlantic to the refinery and back. After that, you would never hear about the coastal highway again, because that's the design. And I don't know why journalists haven't asked for us to have the real full master plan. It makes it sound today that the coastal highway is only about, what's that place they're demolishing there?
The landmark.
The landmark.
Yeah.
No. The coastal highways, we're supposed to have a model that is shown to us on TV every day. This is the digital model.
Well, in fairness, they've shown a route.
The route is not, I'm talking about the model on where we pass, But now we only have, they said they're only doing 47 kilometers. Now don't forget that the people who are building the coastal highway, the high-tech people, also have promised to build highways from Lagos to Ekpa, and they've been doing it for probably 20 years since Tinubu came to power. Never got past the state. That's why I'm saying this is a 47-kilometer highway meant to just provide an outlet for the Bundungu they're building called the Atlantic. Because how was it that people were going to come in there and bring 300,000 people and there's no any other outlet? So the coastal highway now is going to be built by Nigeria for a private investor, real estate investor. That's what it is about. So this is not the coastal highway that I wanted to build.
Well, we'll have to see what happens there. Yeah. But we're almost out of time, and it's an absolute delight to have you here. But you called for revolution now.
Yes.
That was one of the reasons you were charged with treason.
That's right.
But should it be about revolution or about reform? I mean, there's a difference there, isn't there?
Why I was calling for revolution is that I spent 2 years at Columbia University in New York, an Ivy League school.
That's a very good school.
Yes, one of the best 10 in the US.
Yeah.
And most people have never heard this about me before. And part of the reason I attended Columbia University was because they were calling me layabout at the University of Lagos because I was an activist. And I went to one of the best schools in the world. And I know what reforms are about, from the World Bank, from the internet. And Nigeria's case has gone beyond reform. Only a revolution that can address the issue. But guess what? The revolution used to be a taboo word in 2019 when I was using it. Now it's freely used. Everybody is calling for a revolution, including those who were opposed to it in 2019. It's beyond me, but I would say this because it's important for the public, that revolutions that are supposed to happen will happen no matter how long it will take. You can only suppress people only for a time. But the Nigerian revolution is building up. What builds up a revolution are the ingredients you have in place. And suppress of ethnic groups, suppress of free speech, journalists, taxation without responsibility, And I wanted to say about landmark, that I was aware that they're not demolishing landmark just because they want to build a road. They had been targeting the landmark guy even before now. They refused to let him have a water corporation land that he wanted to build part of, because they said, they are too powerful here. These are things that have been going on for a long time. So it is not by accident that they are demolishing the place. There are connotations to it. And I'm saying it publicly here. Yes.
So basically, broadly speaking, we're out of time, but just very briefly.
Broadly speaking,
the approaching storm is still approaching.
Oh yes, it's just a matter of time. And it's going to happen whether I lead it or not. It's just a matter of time. It's a ticking bomb, because you cannot hold people to ransom for this long and you will not be suffering consequences for it.